My dear young friends, I really wanted to be with you, and it would have been wonderful to share everything that you're doing. Unfortunately, I have not been able to do it on account of certain factors. However, I wanted to convey to you some very important facts and some very important ideas which I hope will motivate you and get you to start taking action on something that is going to be part of the pop movement all over the world. I was chairman of the IPCC from 2002 to 2015, during the course of which we were able to spread awareness on the science of climate change. And in fact, it was in 2007 that I had the privilege of receiving the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of the IPCC. And I want to tell you that what we brought out in our various reports, and they are still coming out as extremely effective pieces of scientific information.
Honoring the IPCC through the grant of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007, in essence, can be seen as a clarion call for the protection of the Earth as it faces the widespread impacts of climate change. The choice of the panel for this signal honor is, in our view, an acknowledgement of three important realities which can be summed up as: 1, the power and promise of collective scientific endeavor, which is demonstrated by the IPCC and can reach across national boundaries and political differences in the pursuit of objectives defining the larger good of human society. 2, the importance of the role of knowledge in shaping public policy and guiding global affairs for the sustainable development of human society. 3, an acknowledgement of the threats to stability and human security inherent in the impacts of a changing climate, and therefore the need for developing an effective rationale for timely and adequate action to avoid such threats in the future.
Is the fact that if we don't stop what we have been doing in the past, if we don't mitigate the emissions of greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide in particular, we will have some very serious consequences and impacts of climate change. What would these be? Well, firstly, we're going to get heat waves. You've seen the extreme heat wave that took place in Europe just this year, and also parts of North America. We will have extreme precipitation events, which means you'll have flooding, you'll have mudslides, you will have excessive rain and absolute damage when it comes to human life and property. I also want to highlight the fact that there will be sea level rise related extreme events. And if you look at various parts of the world, there will be water shortages, there will be droughts, and can you imagine if we are going to get a whole large increase in population of the world, let's say to 10 or 10.5 billion by the middle of this century, where will we get the food to feed all those mouths? And for that we also need some major lifestyle changes, including changes in diet, and that I'll come to in a very short while. But what I would like to highlight is that it is schools, institutions of various kinds, colleges, universities that can be the center of action, because not only will this give you a basis for believing in yourself, but also making sure that you're able to carry out advocacy with leaders. Just think of the fact that there are 1.8 billion youth between the ages of 11 and 24. And if they were to really get down to action, if they were to create models of institutions everywhere, then clearly that would have a major impact all over the world. So what I want to request you to do is to see that you get involved with the pop movement, you make sure that you cut down on emissions of carbon dioxide, reduce your own carbon footprint, and make sure that there is very little waste in human activities. I mean, as you're aware, it's been projected that by 2050, there'll be more plastic in the oceans than fish. And there'll also be a major loss of biodiversity. If that happens, there's going to be disease, there are going to be health problems, there will also be major impacts on food supply. So I want to appeal to you, I want to request you And I join you in making sure that the pop movement does exactly what Mahatma Gandhi has said, be the change you want to see in the world. So I want all of you to be the change that you want to see in this whole world, and you will then have a wonderful time. You will then have a future that is sustainable, a future that is safe and that is secure. So muchas gracias, thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you in the future and to seeing that you carry out all the tasks that the pop movement is all about. Thank you.